So yeah, it would have.
At that time, I was getting stoned.
Yeah. All I need to do is figure out how to get out of Mike's basement.
That's all you need to do.
His guard right there.
And we are live, by the way, Mike, just in case you
that guy on the left or on the right of you looks pretty sexy, though.
He's bringing me a sandwich.
He's got a fuzzy upper lip.
Look, there's your uncle. Right behind
everyone. Welcome to today's show.
Is this an SEO show?
Check out ODYS. Today we're going to answer your questions, or we're going to be telling you.
We might give you the runaround.
Fred Hutterson back in his rightful place.
Fred, ask some questions. What tips do you need? And you just need
how is SEO for you?
Mm-hmm.
Any questions, ask them, or we're going to have to listen to Mike.
Our company has been purchased as part of the roll-up. Our company will name change to theirs, and our website will be removed with all web presence being a basic landing page. I'm looking for ideas on how to minimize the huge SEO losses we will have soon.
Oakland, did you like the halftime show?
I didn't watch it, bro.
I did. I'm asking Oakland because it was California-based. I know Oakland, LA, whatever. They played California Love, so...
Dude, I had people from like Estonia asking me how I like the Super Bowl today. And I'm like, no, dude, I didn't watch it.
What's funny though is so Kelsey and I, she's like, I want to go to bed. I'm like, there's a minute and a half left. Let's watch it. And then the Rams pull ahead, Bengals lose. And then later on, she's sitting in bed and she's like on her phone. She's like, oh man, the Bengals lost. I was like, we just watched the game. I wasn't paying attention.
For SEO video show, what's up, dude? How you doing? But Oakland, my little brother manages like a couple targets out there, and someone drove a truck into his fucking target while I was at my mom's house.
Recently?
Yeah, like fucking a month ago.
My aunt's husband runs one in Memphis, so it gets pretty crazy there too.
Dude, they literally like rammed through the front window and like lit on fire, and like the sprinklers went off and just fucking flooded the whole first floor.
They are renovating all the targets right now, so that maybe that was part of the demo.
Yeah, dude, we're gonna get some money, bro. They work for the mob, dude.
Yeah, crazy. Oaktown, Oakland,
so,
in the house.
No one answered my damn question.
What?
Or like
questions, guys? Put them in.
So their company is being purchased. The dude is staying in there. The name is changing to the other company, and they're only going to have the landing pages. All the web presence is going away. He plans to focus on local SEO starting.
Can he retain the assets? I wonder.
That's what I mean.
We've been in those situations with clients.
With the team, right?
Yeah.
I don't understand why people buy a property. Shut up, Maeve. Fuck you. You fucking ask me too much, dude. A cluster is a group of keywords or pages. And so if we have a situation where we're watching and it just kind of floors me that someone will sell a web property they'll buy a web property and they'll not buy they'll buy a business and not buy the online assets.
Not even think about it.
Asset portfolio behind.
We've had clients sell assets, like whole businesses that are bringing in like $3 million a month. They sell that. And I'm like, well, fuck, there goes that website. They're like, no, we're keeping the website. How are you keeping the website? They didn't put it in the contract. We get to keep it. Why? And it's the exact situation that Mike mentioned. Oh, they're going to take it. They're going to rename it, rebrand it, so they have no use for the website. They don't even want it. They don't even want to deal with it.
They want the business, dude, instead of the lead generation. It just doesn't make any freaking sense, dude.
Yeah, I'm like, it's going to dry up eventually unless they're able to generate, it's rehab, so it's generate admits. But I don't know. It would make me nervous buying a business and then immediately cutting off the lead flow. So.
So that one came first. So the feature snippet lost in December, rankings remained. The ones I've seen, there's been actual feature snippets pulled out of the SERPs. And there's been a couple sites that when they lost supporting terms and supporting pages out of their groups and shit, they lost the snippets. But I haven't looked into it enough to really kind of say anything with conviction on this.
I feel like it's separated to an extent, the snippets versus organic. It's kind of like GMB versus organic. It's separated to an extent. Of course, one feeds into the other. to a certain point. But just because your GMB rankings go down or your organic rankings go down doesn't mean the same thing is going to happen for the opposite property. So I would assume it'd be something like that. I don't really focus on snippets a ton because I mean I do a lot of local. When I get them on a national level, it's cool, but I don't really go through the keywords and make sure that I have the snippets or anything.
Yeah,
it's probably it probably should. You know, I should probably.
The snippets come to me like they're important from a content scraping and site generation standpoint rather than worrying about if I'm earning them. Because if you do that part properly, then you steal the snippets or you steal that traffic anyway. So it's like someone posted, there's some guy that does real estate online. Like he's newer, popping up all over Facebook feeds saying I'm ranking 1 for this or that in real estate and whatever. Mm-hmm. And, you know, he mentioned you can't copy a website and rank number 1, and it's just not fucking true.
Can't copy one. Like how?
Yeah,
just like
copy and paste the content essentially. Like you can, but
especially if it's attached to a GMB.
Right. This one's a good one for people that are newer, and really like Sitebuild's probably one of the better ways for people that want to spend not much money on their monthly tools. Screaming Frog, and I prefer on crawl personally.
Yeah, we talked about Sitebuild last week, right?
Yeah,
pretty extensively. Yeah, Sitebuild would be the way to go.
Faceted navigation, what you're really looking into is you're paying attention to like the spider traps that are created. Like a lot of the times, like Craig, you had a bitch of a one when those guys screwed with that development for you. Remember the one I couldn't crawl on, man? Like you can get into situations where just like a little lack of knowledge or anything in development will cause a big ass issue for your ranking. And that's just something you want to look for whenever you design something new on the site, crawl it, and then put it up and then crawl it again. And you just always want to be crawling and always be crawling. ABC. Always be crawling. So this is cool. Michael, how you been, dude?
Not well. Not well at all.
No,
Michael seems like a guy that would always be happy.
No. 3K backlinks, like where are the backlinks though? Are you talking down the route? Like are they in the situation in that 600K? Is it like root PR? Is it trunk PR? Like is it internal? Like give a little more information. Dude.
I would say you're just going to have to be more nimble with your content, you know.
Nimble with content and selective with how and where you link.
Yeah, crafting PR or, you know, directing PR to various pages. You're just going to have to get better at that than they are. And you can do a lot more with less, essentially.
But also, I would hazard a bet at the people with 600,000 or 12 million people links. Fucking 11.9 million of those will be absolute garbage that you don't need to worry about.
The problem is 299,500 thousand of his are shit. So, I mean, it puts them.
We've always used like RSS to do like black hole link building type of shit where you're using keywords and certain content to get people who are scraping and building websites take your fucking shit and use your content as their content so that you get those links. And a lot of what you see in these larger sites are profiles that are syndicated like that. Really get digging into the individual pages and the groups of pages. So like if there's 3 pages supporting a single page on a website as the primary, kind of look at what they're doing in that same kind of structure and emulate what they're doing. Focus on those wins. And always start with like an intersect. Always look at what's available in the market or the SERP that you can build for linking that they already have. Like go there first on every page that you're targeting, dude.
Snoop Dogg.
Right, Snoop, fresh off his performance.
Northern Califas.
How would you approach SEO for a variety of clients? I get diverse leads of different type of sites, but I'm only familiar to affiliate SEO. How do you do SEO for different types of sites effectively?
Order links somewhere, and then you don't have to build out a network. Is what I would do.
Dude, who is this?
Snoop.
Snoop came back in with a bunch of other stuff. And there are markets where I think it's the same I think it's someone I know, dude. Because he's Snoop Lion.
I always have that part.
Is that Witten? Witten used to do coupon stuff, right?
Well, yeah, and they also are talking about CBD. So
CBD with a budget of $500 a month.
Yeah. Just take their money and don't do anything.
No, dude,
Hopefully it goes up a
don't
little
take
bit.
the contract. Like, seriously, don't take the contract.
Yeah.
It's
And
not worth it.
They will be so far up your ass every single month that it's not going to be fun. You know,
The same approach you take on any other site, like SEO. There's things
content and links,
but
clustering.
there's-
Did you tell everyone what clusters are, Mike?
clusters or groups of keywords or pages.
Okay. How many times do you think we can get them to say that this episode?
I've got a question though, Mike. What's cluster maturation?
The cluster maturation is actually when the bot matures a cluster when they crawl it, fucker.
It's been indexed, yeah, for a period of time. How long does it take for you to maturate a cluster?
I maturate pretty fucking fast, bro.
Yeah, I thought so, but
And
like
can
3-4 minutes.
Can we edge the links on a cluster?
You edge
Edge
when you're
maturation.
watching BBC porn.
And the domain buoyancy of that cluster, does that come into play?
Oh, it'll bounce really high. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
you
If you're-
maturate a lot quicker when the domain is very buoyant. Yeah, because it drops. You know, like
A cluster is a group of pages with edges that are connected to each other, and they're also a group of keywords on an individual page that are connected in the link in the content graph in the database that Google loves to shove up your ass.
Anyway, on to serious ones now. Glenn up.
I think Snoop is
Question
serious.
on
Those are good
blogs.
questions.
400-page blog. How often should we refresh the pages? And how many pages should we refresh every 90 days? I've heard the blog should be updated to maintain SEO compounding. So he's thrown in another word there. Another
SEO
word.
compounding.
Yeah, let's look at
buoyancy
SEO
and
compounding.
maturation.
I'm going to find it. I'm going to find the definition.
While you're finding it, guys.
Nice.
But anyways, on that though, it's important. Like, do you have a strategy? Like, do you have 400 blog posts? Wow, dude, you're
How much did you have to pay for that?
free. Do you have the fridge, bro? Did they send you a mini fridge?
It looks like
Nah, no
the
mini
door.
fridge, just that. And
Dude, they sent Larceny a mini fridge, and he had a keg.
Yeah, he had a keg in his office.
From it, but
that might come with a gold one. I'm like 900,000 away. I got a letter though as well.
dude, I got
just
7 of those, dude.
Come on, man. I was excited to get
You
that
gonna frame it?
It's cool, man. That's rad, bro.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
so
badass.
serious.
You
I'll
work
joke
hard
about
for it.
that. That's fucking rad, dude. And
And
honestly,
40% of those subscribers are real, I think.
I never
The
thought
other is
about
Vietnamese link farm.
Scottish people.
It will sit there, but I just need to get a frame for the fucker.
Yeah.
Can you put a picture of me in the center of it,
No.
No.
please?
His wife said no.
So the 400-page blog, are you the blog has a group of content writers assigned to it and has been developed over 4 years. How are they writing? What are they writing and why? Because just putting up posts for no reason, it'll start to get you into a lot more trouble than it'll do good over time. So that's why I'm saying, is it part of a strategy? Is it part of a plan? Are you picking random topics and throwing shit up? Like, how's it working?
Let's see how that's working. Your friend Maeve has a question.
Okay, hold on. Wait 1 second though. Is there a right time to start your SEO compounding journey?
Where is
I
that?
I think they're just saying the compounding effect of SEO over time.
Yeah.
So I guess that's why a good way to go back to strategy. Are you doing those posts like with a strategy, or are you? Swear I met Glenn on freaking Reddit one day on a post and told him to come watch this show because he was talking about and asking questions about a pet food company on Reddit in the SEO, a big SEO subreddit. But I'll never know because he never answers.
But Maeve has a question. Should she chance her arm and rebuild an old website that has been spammed?
I would put it up, get some content on it, and it doesn't have to be fantastic content for like really long tail keywords. If they pop, on the first couple pages when they index, then you're good to go. If they don't, then I would probably throw it in the gutter and go buy another. So.
Michael, has a website in the PMP search space.
Hip search space. What is PMP?
It's pimping, bro.
Huh?
It's pimping.
Yeah.
Sugar Free is handing out certs now for pimps.
Nice.
Sugar Free. You want to be looking at I'm going to say it, dude. You want to look at the clusters and then look at the linking, bro, because it doesn't necessarily need new content to me. Like, it might be more of an on-page optimization of the clusters they've already kind of assigned to your content.
Are you still putting out that cluster tool, Mike, at some point?
I mean, it's available. No one just ever wants to use that shit.
Yeah.
But I use it every day. So, yeah, it's there.
Yeah, hit up Mike about that, Michael. Michael, hit up Mike.
Michael.
Michael, speak to Michael. Glenn Glenn, are you that guy from Reddit? Just out of curiosity for Mike. But guys, do put other questions in the chat if you've got any. Let us know.
Well, this here, like, seriously, go back to, like, really the strategy. Like, just putting up content for the sake of putting up a fucking page will start to get you a spam score. Like, you'll start to trigger fucking some problems for yourself if you just keep doing it for no reason. You've got to kind of structure your strategy from day zero. And if you haven't, then go back in and fix it. Like, I see a lot of content, especially right now. You'll start to see the people that are losing traffic on the cores over the last couple of years. You'll see them get hit on every core a little bit inside of their sites where they don't know and things like that. And it's because a lot of the pages that have been created in like a grouping or just as a blog like situation, they don't need them. They're just targeting the same shit for something that's already moving. And eventually Google understands, I don't want to fucking waste budget on crawling this shit. We're not going to crawl this, or we are going to crawl it. We're not going to store it. And it just starts to make it harder on the rest of your pages. So pay attention to like what's going on. And you should be going in and checking your clusters on a regular basis. Like, literally. You should go and scrape the data from the SERP, look at what's happening in the SERP, and then see what's going on your page. If there's something new in the SERP that you're not talking about, figure out where that goes in your process and get it on your page. And that would be a good blog post to write if it needs to be a secondary page, right? Or it's something to add as a header on a paragraph into the same content. So it just depends.
PMP is project management, apparently. It was bugging me that I didn't know
thought it was pimping. I'd rather give you my bitch than let you smoke on my last bag of endo smoke.
Please don't sing.
This is some weird ass shit. I don't see how you find those songs, Mike. You'll send them to me. It's got like 1,000 views. I was like, half of these have got to be Mike. Where are these other 500?
Sugar Free is not unknown, dude. He's from Pomona and he's a fucking badass rapper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he needs to get more than 1,000 views.
Shit the other day.
Project management professional. So you're competing with like Google. Don't they have a project management certification? I believe.
It's a good point, though.
Yeah.
But anyway,
there are no dumb questions here, just dumb responses.
Yeah, most of them.
What if you could pick one keyword to attract SEO clients? What would it be? And it can't be any content, cluster maturation, or any of that.
I mean, there are a few different routes you could go. You could go with SEO audit, and then you're getting people through the door. We talked about that last week a little bit, I think. You could either go the free lead cap, which I don't really like to do, but you could go the free lead cap and then immediately upsell them with the SLO. Or you could just go straight into it, and sell them a $1,000
it really
plus
depends
audit.
what you're selling to. Like for me, the audit direction, there's some keywords inside of the audit stuff that works out for me. But like there's things like, how do I get more traffic to my website? And those queries, that set of questions that if you're doing local SEO is probably a better route for you to take.
That would be good, yeah.
It just really kind of really depends what you're targeting. You really got to look at what you're targeting, and Google will tell you this shit. Like, you don't have to really think about this stuff. If you scrape data and look at the pages that are your competitors for those things, you will get ideas out of the SERPs. Like, looking at the top 20 fucking pages that are ranking for your query will give you hundreds, if not thousands, of ideas. And you should be doing that for your SEO anyways. When you're actually building these clusters that we talk about, you should have that data.
And I definitely wouldn't go after unless you're selling services specifically. I wouldn't go after the dumb shit like SEO services city or SEO consultant city, SEO expert city. Like everyone ranks that for, to milk their ego a little bit. Look what I can do.
Here you go.
Yeah, please do. I was going to say mental masturbation, but I didn't want Craig to get upset with me again.
One of the reasons that a lot of people have pushed this whole website speed shit as SEOs is because if you push that shit, you look like an expert, and now you've got stuff that like a layperson might hear about, which is, oh, there's these 3 things that are fucking core web vitals that I need to worry about because that's all that it takes. And if you rank for something like that, then you're getting potentially the target market and the demographic you want. So
honestly, that method reminds me of like you watch the pharmaceutical commercials. And they're like, ask your doctor about blah, blah, blah. Ask your SEO about site speed. And
Pfizer, Pfizer just did a tweet yesterday about deep vein thrombosis, which is associated with, as a vaccine side effect. But they have drugs inside of deep vein thrombosis. So people freak out. They get all conspiracy on this. But it's smart for them to be talking about these side effects because guess what? They can make money when you get the vaccine. And if you do have a fucking side effect, they can make money off of you too. And so that kind of thought process is Brad's right, exactly where you want to go. If you're looking for small businesses and local businesses, then you might be targeting people that want to go online from being brick and mortar only, or you might be targeting people that have heard about, this would probably be a better spot is to target someone that's heard about core web vitals because they're probably going to convert better. But
who the fuck has heard about core web
SEO? No. SEO. Well, here's the thing. I was on a call the other day with people that don't know what the fuck they're talking about, and they were talking about SEO being on core web vitals, right? Yeah. So this is like what I'm saying. Like they know what SEO is, they just don't know anything about SEO. So depending on where and who you're targeting, then that's what you should be targeting. And that's where people make mistakes in their marketing is that they don't start by going into something like Keyword Cupid with competitors and like grouping. Fuck you. Like grouping together pages or keywords based on intent, like Keyword Cupid does, because that will give you like the top level. Like when someone goes out to say, okay, I'm going to build a website, I'm going to pick all these topics and do it. You shouldn't be doing it that way. Honestly, you should be using math and saying, fuck you, Brad. And grouping pages based on like the user intent and building your conversion that way. And then coming in afterwards and then building clusters on page and doing that shit. So I think that's where that question needs to start is who you're marketing to. And it depends is the answer.
Take a screenshot of that one.
Screenshot of that. Put it in your pipe and smoke it, bitch.
But
with
Brad,
I'm going to deep vein thrombosis you.
That's actually this guy's name standing behind me. Deep
that is deep vein thrombosis.
This is the commercial that he was talking about behind me.
I mean, that's the only way to do it.
Yeah.
Cognitive SEO.
Yeah, I would say the most cost-effective way to get more keywords ranking is to go use cognitive SEO.
Mm-hmm. You've got to get those statistically improbable phrases on your page so you can rank for them.
No one believes me that they do a better job than anybody. And they don't update.
They have for years.
They don't even update their shit, and it's better than everything.
Yeah, they haven't updated in years, have they?
No, it's been like 4 or 5 years, dude.
Yeah,
this math.
They got it right the first time.
It's so funny. Like you've got Surfer, and all these tools just actively doing this stuff, and they just fall short so hard from what he does, dude.
I'm fucking ranking national level like this versus this rehab terms. It's all spun / Quillbot content, but I've gone through it. It took a little bit to put together with cognitive, and it's fucking ranking, no linking.
I know it's doing very well. And actually it's funny because it was having indexation issues, but still pulling everything. And it finally popped over those problems, bro. All that stuff did.
Yeah, that particular page. I'm talking about another one even.
Yeah.
So
no, I'm just saying everything. In general, that kind of SERP shaker style.
We added more media, or the team did. I didn't. So
if done properly, it fucking really does do a good job.
Yeah.
Check it out, guys. Cognitive SEO. I just keep hearing you guys talking about it, and I'm like,
have you never used it?
I mean, here, let me go. I'll
Yeah,
go.
we're not like affiliated with them at all. We just use the piss out of it. Like we've seen like 40% gains within a month having our content writer go through it. One site we saw like 120% in a month or two. It was a lot of pages to go through, but yeah, it works. And that's a way to check up on your content too.
An affiliate relationship with Dude forever, dude. They just don't answer any fucking emails.
They don't care.
No, they don't. It works. You don't need to worry about it. There we go. I'll share in 1 second. Blah, 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 blah. I think this one has something written or done. But it basically like pulls a whole bunch of different things like match terms and various other shit. All right, I'm going to share. Wow. Share screen, bitches. All right.
Second, that just balls this up. Add to stream. There you go.
So everything can be ignored here. Like all these tools can all be ignored. Everything except for the content optimizer and keyword tool. And really all you want to pull out is this right here.
Yep.
That's what you want. Keywords you already use, you should use more. And that's what you want to do. Their math is better than everyone else's, in my opinion. I guess Brad's too.
Yeah.
The ones with these dots, if you're not using them, then you need to use these right here.
First, make sure you get those in there. And I always go in and bold. If I'm going to bold, italicize anything on the page, it's going to be that. Try and get some of the top ones in the headings it'd be headings and all that shit.
Be careful and determine why car insurers is there when you're doing this kind of thing, because what you'll find is that there's a reason for a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
And sometimes there will be things that you need to pull off into a different page potentially, but it could be an anchor text to that page from this page. So there's a reason that these terms are there, and a really simple process is. You get a client, they're doing okay, they want more traffic. You go through and you optimize their content with this stuff right here. And
a client with a bunch of content already on their site is a wet dream as far as results go, because you, like Mike said, you can go in there and do this and move on.
Exactly. That's an ODYS domain right there.
Yeah. We need to do something with that.
It keeps going. It keeps ranking, dude. Yeah, probably should.
Probably should make some money off of it. We've got a chunk in it.
But yeah, no, that is what I would do for multiple keywords on a page for sure. Brad was right. Definitely. I would have forgot about
First time ever.
Nah.
And also, I can't reiterate enough. A lot of people hate this guy, but if you look at if you Google what is SEO, and you see Neil Patel's page, his particular page on that ranks for 7,000 variations of SEO-related keywords.
Yep.
Go look at that, see the subheadings he's used, see the way that he structured it. He's using semantically related keywords and all the other shit that the guys
also look into the structure and the architecture.
Yeah.
Don't just look at the page itself.
That's all I can say to you. Other than that, I've said it time and time again, why people choose to make this any more difficult than it needs to be. Yeah. I'm not sure, but the Neil Patel, what is SEO page, go look at that. You're going to find much better out there in terms of a page that ranks for so many different keywords. So there you go. We are answering LinkedIn questions if they pop up on here. I've not seen one yet, but if it does, pop up.
That's the first LinkedIn question I've seen.
Yeah.
Hey, what's a cluster, Mike?
What's a cluster?
What's a cluster? Mark just asked.
Fucking keywords.
Cool.
Anyway.
Surfer, the only thing I would ever use on Surfer is their content explorer tool or content planner tool, the one that does initial like groupings. I would not use anything else there personally. It's a spam tool.
There you go. But that's Mike's personal thoughts. Everyone sees different things in different tools. It's how you use it, Theo, is the main thing. So Maeve is saying, does COG do any deals just on that part? It's quite expensive otherwise.
You can reach out to them and try and get extra credits or something.
Yeah, they will do it. Like, I think that I told them to just take away everything else and just leave me that.
Yeah, do that, get more credits, and then split it with someone.
So yeah. My accounts are old, and so they might still answer emails, or I don't know if they're just processing money at this point and you letting the tool be out there. I don't know, but you could try to ask them. They don't market it, so I doubt it.
Yeah, if not, then I would find a few other SEOs to split it with. That's what we've suggested in FG before.
I don't know the last post it was.
Ryan Pelliter's question. I skipped by that. He's entered a new niche for affiliate marketing website with a fresh domain. Is it best just to add loads of content and load it with links and see how it does? Or should I be smarter?
I think you should take time choosing the content that you're going to put up. And then
what pages, like topics you need, and then optimize what you're going to give the writer. Basically,
research is the shittiest part.
Yeah, that's why we built that cluster tool, to be honest. Like, it's such a manual freaking process, dude, that it just needs to be automated.
Do you find, though, that many people just literally think content? Obviously, some of it's cannibalizing against each other and all that kind of shit. And there's no real thought process went into it. They're just in a rush to tick boxes like, oh, man, I've got 50 articles up. That's not the name of the game. I think you've got to just think about it logically. And as you say, think about
people that are bloggers that do a good job have found some sort of like content marketing training or something that shows them how to actually research. And instead of just like putting a post up about whatever their fancy in that market is that day or whatever, or letting the writers go crazy, they actually know what they're going to write about. And that's why we can sell content plans for large amounts of money, is because we can tell people exactly for the next year, write about this shit on this schedule. And then if they add in like additional data and updating, then they have something that works very well, instead of having 10 pages that typically target the same 5, 10, 100 keywords, right? There's no reason to do it that way. It's a waste of time, money, and it usually ends up in lost traffic that probably should have never been there anyways.
Yeah, makes perfect sense. So try and be smarter, bit more strategic about it, Ryan. I think you'll get better results. It's not a volume game.
Is there a service out there, Craig? Do you know that they'll go out? I'm sure they won't do it 100% to like Mike standards, but somewhere that's quote unquote good enough that'll do that keyword research for you. Legitimately asking, because I don't know.
No,
I've never seen anyone do that shit.
That would be sweet.
Why would you do that for someone unless they're paying you very, very well, you know?
Yeah, I mean, for some type of payment, but I didn't know.
The best thing that you can do is to run a scraper. Like, the best thing you can do, and it's what we automated, is go out, grab all the top ranked shit for like the top 20 or whatever, grab all those rankings that they're ranking for and start to run math on that data. And that will pull out, based on like something you grouped at Keyword Cupid, that will pull out what you should optimize for every time from the SERPs. And that doesn't change, and that won't change. That's why you don't have to rely on APIs and shit. It's because the SERP data has it for you. And you can do that with like Octoparse. You can do that with whatever you can. But at the end of the day, there's no replacement for actually marketing and actually doing it right.
Yeah, that's it. Can't see it any better myself. But guys, keep your questions coming. We do have probably 25 minutes left, so put your questions in the chat. Also, make sure you do give the video a little like or dislike if you don't like Mike or Brad.
It's hard to see anyone disliking either of us.
Yeah, definitely. I've never made anyone mad in my life.
No, Not today.
It's more likely the guy. It's probably the guy that's given a dislike today. That dude that's harassing me online, coming at me for.
That's me.
Anyone that puts a dislike on yours, obviously has a small wee. So that's all I'm going to say. That should keep all the haters away, because they're like, well, I was going to dislike it, but I don't want to tell them I have a small wee. So
maybe they want to tell us that shit. You never know.
Yeah, you might start getting pictures now.
I do have one that was awesome. It's SEO pointless. SEO is incredibly time consuming, often involves multiple people, involves difficult and in-depth technical skills. And even when done perfectly, you may not see tangible results for 3 to 6 months. Even when you do see results, it can be hard to attribute it back to the marketing team. Meanwhile, you can do PPC and wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. You can get results in a short time frame.
You can burn through $100,000 cash too.
To get up and running, and you can prove 100% attribution to the marketing. You can also not prove it. Watch, I guarantee you. The only way I can see SEO being better than PPC is if you have a very low marketing budget. And if that is the case, you probably just want to jump ship entirely. In the real world, when you have to consider job security and a boss who demands results, why would anyone risk their job with SEO over PPC? Why would you do SEO over PPC?
Why would you make a Facebook post on your page every day? I don't know.
That's an interesting question. So why SEO over PPC?
Why not both?
You know why I do it?
PPC is a pain in the fucking ass sometimes, especially in our markets.
It is also the risk is so much higher and the startup is so much higher. I think it comes from starting. I don't know about you, Craig, but like starting a long time ago when I had fucking no money at all whatsoever and like was a high school dropout.
That was me last week.
Right. Yeah. And then this morning I wake up and I'm like, dude, the world is insane because it's like, oh, Putin's kind of pulling back. The market's great. I'm like, fucking Hegelian dialect manipulation of a motherfucker.
It is crazy. Yeah. He only pulled back a percentage too. Oh, yeah. The thing is, what's insane though is
meanwhile, Russia's over there going like, we're not going to war with Ukraine. What the fuck is the West talking about? It's just
that's what when they're like nothing was resolved when Biden talks to Putin. And Putin told him that the West was getting hysterical or, overhyping the hysteria. The news needs something with Omicron peaking. Everyone's used to inflation numbers at this point. So they got to talk about something. I hope that it's not like, you're overreacting and then boom.
Bro, I really do. But we'll see.
What's that?
Yeah. Well, yes, I agree. Absolutely. You're spot on, Maeve. 100%, dude. Like it's definitely a good show for my country, at least on our media. But
yeah,
I don't know.
We have to have something to talk about.
So
I hope that's all it is.
We were talking about pointless SEO.
Yeah.
For me, it was about money. It was about the fact that until I got to a point where I could spend a few $1,000s a day on PPC and get into like Bing and different things and AdWords and really start having enough budget to test my affiliate campaigns. Like it made no sense to try to run PPC first. Like coming at it from maybe an employee, do you think it's safer to learn the PPC skills?
I'm not learning PPC at all. That confuses the shit out of me.
What are your thoughts, dude? What's a safer skill set for just a COD worker?
I honestly think as a marketable skill, PPC would probably be the way to go.
I would think that's kind of where I'm leaning. If my kid came to me and said, Dad, should I learn SEO or PPC?
If they want a job, yeah.
Fucking learn PPC and media buying,
Yeah. Because then you're going to get a job at the huge companies. If you get brought on as an SEO, you're either going to be a part of a team or you're going to be for a small-ish company, and you're going to be like, okay, I need this budget, and they're like, we're not paying for content, we're not paying for you to have a team. You do this all yourself. But I don't want to do this all. Well, I need these tools. Even the payday loan company that we worked for, their in-house marketing team wasn't allowed to purchase Semrush through the company card. They had to have like their own account and crap. It was just insane. They don't respect it because it's like
a week, bro, when we were running at top peak and they're not allowing a purchase of Semrush, dude.
Yeah, it was insane. Trey had to use his own account, and Jason.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would go PPC because I feel like that's going to broaden. PPC and data analytics is what I would push my kids into if they wanted an online marketing career at the moment.
Yep. I think the research aspect ties directly into PPC like it can for SEO. And so building the skill set of understanding how the market works, how to like actually understand the demographic and actually do the marketing, and then having the skills to optimize a paid campaign, and then building the relationships of a media buyer, you're in a situation where you can make a lot of fucking money.
You're like the Ryan Holiday guy. What's his primary job?
That's what it was. He was a media fucking.
That Good America. What? No, it's that one brand that like just has plain ass clothes, but they overcharge.
American Eagle.
No, it's Made America. I'll look it up. Keep talking though.
What is your thought, Craig?
Again, if someone was asking me the question, what do you think from now? I would say it took me probably a good 10 years to figure out this SEO shit. Countless hours, countless mistakes, countless all sorts, and for what could have made a better career quicker doing pay-per-click. Obviously not back in the day, because pay-per-click wasn't as big an option it is now, but I think you could make a very, very solid career. And I'm not suggesting that pay-per-click's easy in any way, but I don't think you've got a 10-year learning curve.
No, you don't. It's not the same learning curve to be at the same level.
So for me,
all you need is one hack in SEO, then you're set.
That special button that you just push and everything ranks. That I've still been looking for the last 20 years. Like, what's that douchebag doing? That fucking there's a special trick to this that's not there. But I think it makes sense.
American Apparel is the name of the company. Sorry, it was going to bug me. It's the autism.
It is the autism, bro.
I thought you would have said it and get into trouble. But nah, as I say, pay-per-click, social media, anything like that, you can drive a lot of traffic from that shit a lot easier.
Now, would you pick getting deeper into it? Because they're kind of two different beasts entirely. Would you pick Google ads or Facebook ads that if you had to pick between the two, being an absolute expert in, like, badass?
Depends what you target, to be honest. I mean, they're different parts of the cycle. Like, Facebook is people like in hobby time, they'll take a look at things that are not direct fire sale type things. I mean, they don't target.
I feel like, Facebook is best for stuff that you have to build awareness for. Like, you've never heard of it. Like the Shark Tank shit that's like, you've never heard of.
Absolutely. Like you look at things that are not like PPC, I think has a bigger specialty in finding a buying user and a cart ready person right then.
I'm picking Google. Yeah.
And this goes right back to why I love SEO, because I can target all those people with the same skill set. So,
yeah.
But it is what it is.
Here's the question though, Mike. If you could put yourself back 20 years, would you go through the whole pain and everything that you've done with SEO? If it was your kids,
I would have gone to school, dude, and just been a cog worker, dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, working in a coal mine. Whoop, about to slip now.
Oh, really though? Are you talking about like PPC or SEO?
Yeah,
or for sure SEO. There's no question that I would. I mean, it's a bitch a lot of the time, but the skill sets that come from starting in an industry when it's brand new and having to learn how to fucking code yourself, having to learn how to put up websites, having to learn how to rank those websites, convert those pages, like. You can't go to school and earn that kind of thing.
Dude, before I knew you could order citations, I was building them by hand.
Yeah.
Before I knew about Fiverr.
Before you could order them. I mean, honestly. Yeah. I mean, we were running link trading three-way scripts, like putting up directories left and right so we could three-way link trade and shit, the stuff that still works that, no one really talks about. But there's just this, it's funny because there's a lot that has happened over the years that are gone, that doesn't get talked about now, that still actually works.
Well, how old is the plugin? And it still works. 18 years?
18 years now, dude. And that's reciprocal linking and various other things, dude. And it works extremely well. I mean, realistically, if I had to do local work and I didn't have something like that plugin, I would be going out and doing link trades and buying a little links here and there and doing the citations. And that's how I'd run it.
Well, you know what's funny, since Ryan Holiday got mentioned, anyone that wants like a traditional marketing stance on SEO and how to do it, I would read Trust Me, I'm Lying. It's insane, like the way he gets shit to go viral and the way he gets he's talking about link building from a marketing perspective, which is probably the way it should be looked at. But it's fucking, I'm like, man, this would be solid SEO. You know, I'm reading the book. Trust Me, I'm Lying is a really solid book. It's not as good as the one about Peter Thiel, but what's your favorite Ryan Holiday book, by the way? I'm going to get a Stoic book after this.
Stillness is the key.
Stillness is the key.
Stillness.
That's your favorite one. You've read all of them?
I'm thinking about who you are and your personality, dude. Because how about ego is the enemy, bro?
There you go. I've got a huge ego.
Ego is the enemy is good. The obstacle is the way. Stillness is the key. Ego is the enemy. Courage is calling. I think that stillness is the key was perfect for me because I'm fucking quick, dude. And I keep going. I do think that ego is the enemy, not from the ego standpoint, but that's a damn good book.
Yeah, I'll read that one next. And it's funny because we do the, what do you want for Christmas type shit still with my family. And I always have lists of shit on Amazon books. I'm like, here, just do this. Okay, thanks. So I do. I've got like 2 more and I'm done with that. And I've read an extra one since. So I was going to sit down and read another Ryan Holiday book. So Ego is the Enemy will be it.
Was popping out with Perennial Seller.
I'll look that one up too.
The Way, the Enemy, and the Key.
I have not read Perennial Seller, dude. You liked it, bro? I just love his writing, dude. Like I do a lot of his challenges and stuff. I do a lot.
Oh, is this Holiday?
Yeah, that's Holiday. It's funny.
Interesting.
He's a real dude because like he'll talk about like
he's really fucked up. That's what he is.
What's that?
He's really effed up. That's what he.
Well, it's funny he's talk about like I write. He says my wife says that one of us writes about stoicism and one of us is a stoic, and like it's fucking always women are always so much more fucking stoic than men. It's so fucking true, dude. I think
that's why everyone calls me a woman. Yes,
exactly. There you go. He has a collection for The Way, the Enemy, and the Key. Michael said that would, if you can get that collection and save some money, those are all fucking worth reading, dude, for sure. Courage is Calling. I put on for my daughter because I've been having to take her to have like MRIs. We were trying to we actually eliminated this brain tumor.
That one's good.
Yeah, and I had her listening to it, and man, it touched on like. Frederick Douglass and all these things that she had learned about in school. And she's like, why don't we actually learn these things in school? Like she started realizing how little they were actually teaching her.
That's what I've said. Like, since I've gotten out of school, I'm like, why didn't we read this shit instead of like To Kill a Mockingbird, which if anyone likes that book. I did not. The Great Gatsby. I tried to read that as an adult even. I'm like, what the fuck?
Dude, the story behind him, dude, like the fact that he literally was getting beaten and he fucking fought the dude for hours and fought off other people and like just those kind of things I think are what need to be taught to people. Like if they're going into anything that's not, I guess it's because they got rid of classical education. So I don't think they want people learning these kind of things in school. I think they try to build factory workers with the way the school system is.
Well, it's from a scale perspective. It's much easier to do that. I think it's all about scale. I don't want to. I mean, that's probably me not wanting to think that the government is like, oh, let's keep these people under our thumb or anything. But I think just from simplicity, it's easier to just like do cookie cutter with as many kids as we have in this fucking country. I think it's easier.
It's a machine. We've been a corporatist nation for so fucking long that like it is what it is, dude. Like we don't know why people do what they do. But if I was in a position to manipulate something. I do SEO. I would manipulate it. I just don't have doubts that I would manipulate something to benefit me and my family, you know?
Yeah.
So makes sense, but It's just SEO on a larger scale.
That's why, like, I think it's always interesting to look at Congress's top held positions, like their stocks and stuff.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see that. Baba is still up there though, Alibaba, which is odd because they've gone down like from like what 300. I think they're hanging around like 120 right now. So
Games Workshop's taking a tumble, dude.
Games Workshop.
Yeah, dude.
What is that?
Don't worry about it.
I won't.
So we did SEO is pointless.
Is SEO pointless though? I don't.
No,
think so.
it's not.
Especially like from a local perspective, because it's. I mean, it's funny. We had an argument, a friendly argument in the NFG group the other day, and one guy was. This is the kind of group we are. F you. He's like, all you're doing is showing local results. That's not really SEO. I was like, whoa, it's SEO, you know, and you make a ton of money off of it. But like from a local perspective, though, my point is, like, why not? Why would you not implement it? Why would you not fill out your GMB profile? Why would you not optimize your landing page? Why would you not build a small cluster around it and do some light link building and push it like crazy? Like the ROI on that shit is insane.
They're the patents that are coming out from different companies with like the social scoring and all the stuff around like what happened with COVID and all the patents coming out of this. Like it's obvious to see where all this is going. And if you're not a business doing this stuff, then eventually you're going to be outside of the system and you have to be doing this stuff as a business. We have like 3.2 billion AI assistants. And so not understanding how to like target the AI assistant, the phone, you're fucked because you can't get to the person if you can't get to the device. And that's just the way it goes. And it's going to get worse, not worse, but better for us. But it's going to be more like that as we go on. There's a question I had.
Angel Cruz, way back in the day, like when they first released like the first version, Nest 1.0 or whatever, he was looking at like verbal SEO and shit, or whatever you would call it, like voice SEO.
David Amerlin wrote a book in like 2012 or something about, it's called Semantic Search.
Oh yeah.
It's a great,
the blue one. It's blue, right?
Yeah. It's got the Google fucking brain on the front. Or whatever.
Yeah, that's an awesome book. I think every SEO should read that.
They should read it. They should read that. They should read Eric Ward's link building. There's some stuff that I always make people read. I also think that they should read 33 Strategies of War by Robert Greene. But
any Robert Greene. You know which Robert Greene book I still haven't read, but I need to, is Art of Seduction. That way maybe Craig will listen to me a little better if I.
Yeah, he loves you. Craig, this question is for you. How can I make a list of all URLs indexed by Google?
Get a quantum computer.
Yeah.
He means for his site, not for everything. So he wants to make a list of the pages in the index for Google and then come back and check it to see what pages are now out of the index. And I think the console is the way to go about that. But
yeah.
Console, but you can also use Scrapebox if you're looking for some weird ass alternative, which obviously if you look at the plugins and stuff, you can see if links are still live or not, or stuff still indexed or not, and various other bits and bobs. So console's the right answer, but if you want to go a weird way about it, Scrapebox is another option.
Yeah, any sort of that kind of scraper to pull it out if you can. But one of the issues there is like you might get in a situation where they tell you have this many results and then they deliver the supplemental, they pull the supplemental out and you're not getting the actual URLs. So I would suggest the console too. And it just makes more sense. It sucks because we know they don't give us all the data that they can give us, but it's better than anything else, in my opinion.
Michael has a content question. How much do you rely on the people also ask topics from Google for a content plan?
They're good for supports.
Yeah, the first level of PAA, like a couple weeks ago, I saw a lot of second level shit just turn into trash in a lot of markets. I need to look again, but as long as you're pulling from that display page on the organic, the way Google does this, builds their SERP is they assign they index everything. They've got a video. They've got videos for a query. They've got the user data for the queries. They've got books, they've got images, and based on basically like think of it like AdWords quality score or something like that. When someone clicks on a video in the video search and that gets enough traffic, they do their math, and that video might become a part of the organic search, or it might not, depending on what their data shows. It's the same for PAA. Those are sorted by user interaction. So the first few of those are very important until they start to get way off topic. But then you should still kind of pay attention where the pathway takes you, because the pathway is the marketing funnel. They're not stupid. They're trying to make money. They display all this, of course, to make their ads get clicked on, but they display all this to build the best user experience on search. And you can see that is a fact, because people, when they go and use a different search engine, they always ask, why is this search engine so shitty? And they don't realize that no matter what, they're being personalized to, whether they're logged in or not. When they're on Google, they're getting personalized results, whether they know it or not. We all are. No matter what, we're getting personalized results. They have much more data than you think. And they do that so they can build this information and work their contracts with the NSA and all that shit. But it is important to pay attention to, because you can kill it with PAA. If you scrape PAA and snippets right, kind of mentioned it earlier on that question, you can build websites that will waterfall straight up during core if you stay on top of that. So I don't know if you're using it too much, man. I don't know, unless you don't know SEO, but I know you, and I know you know SEO.
Pretty sure he knows SEO. Yeah.
An issue, dude. You do SEO for like hundreds of websites, so you're good, bro.
But also, just quickly, I want to share on Semrush.
I love that tool, man. It's still my favorite.
I'm going to be up all night because I'm eating chocolate-covered espresso beans.
Yeah, the cocaine that does that to me.
Yeah. I don't know why my nose is stuffy, mother.
I think for your question coming up, look at what Craig's going to say here, and then we can talk about some other thing. But this is good stuff here.
I think obviously a lot of people don't look at Semrush that often for one reason or another. But rather than jumping about multiple tools, they do pull in questions and shit here. So for something like used cars, which was just a generic search term I put in for a laugh, you've got 15,000 questions related.
I'm going to make a pitch for Semrush and why I use Semrush almost more than any other fucking tool. Jump back in there real quick. You have a full account, yeah?
Yeah.
No, you can't afford it.
What's that, Brad?
You can't afford it.
You can't afford the full account.
He's on a trial. He just keeps
start paying them, bro. You start spending thousands of dollars a month, dude, on their shit. The trends, like down into trends on the left navigation, bro. Yeah, right there. Their click traffic analytics and clickstream data. If you jump into the traffic analytics and clickstream data, is so fucking valuable. There are some APIs that have clickstream data, but I still think they do a pretty damn good job of being one of the better solutions for this. If you want to look into where your competitors' traffics and referrals and shit are coming from, this is how you get into like some advanced link building, advanced tactics. Like you can go in here and find forums that they're buying image ads on, like literally direct image ads, not through a system, but like you see them manipulating the algorithm through images in here. And like having access to something like this is invaluable when you can go and like type in Amazon or whatever. Actually, let's think of something. Who's a competitor of yours, Craig? Do you have competitors?
Neil.
If they're big, type in Patel.com or whatever, dude.
Yeah.
How you spell Neil?
How you spell Patel? So if we go down and we get into by device, scroll down a little bit more, traffic by source and traffic journey, below that. Yeah, so it might be under type. Go back up. We got to get into their referrals, and they look like they changed it recently. If we go into Volfu report by traffic sources, like if you go down to the bottom of this block, there's a button that says view.
There.
Yeah. And so if we scroll down, Yeah, here we go. So you go into referring sites. It's not big enough to get. Oh, you don't have this. They didn't give it to you. So if you do have the trend subscription, they might have changed it, dude, because that's a new subscription. That's not. Well, I need to check and make sure I still have that assigned to a couple accounts. But if you come in here and you look at referring sites, that's where you can start to find like link building targets that are actually extremely valuable. So when there was the question about, Michael, how do I go in and do this? If you're like working in a space like PPM, I would be very willing to bet to some of your competitors there's some gold in the trend analysis for you. So go look at their referring content and things like that. And then pull out the context of those in like a link tool or whatever. So yeah, the scraping. So Semrush and then SEO Minion will do that in Chrome. Put the plugin in Chrome, and SEO Minion will scrape multiple levels of PAA for you by query.
Will Scrapebox do this?
I think so. I haven't used Scrapebox in a year or two.
Yeah,
I've been using OctoParse.
But just get Semrush and just export it all.
Yeah. Semrush is a tool that I think every SEO should freaking have, dude.
We should just we should have Dimitri make one, a PAA.
That would actually be really easy to do for it.
Yeah, that'd be a good lead cap.
Maybe we'll just build one for Mikkel here.
How many likes and comments or whatever? Think of some type of metric for this video, Craig. And if it reaches that, we'll hand it out on a show.
Or we'll give away a free fucking bot for PAA.
We're out of our pocket. We'll pay for it.
We need 100 likes on this video by the end of tonight.
End of the night? All right, make sure you put that like when you repost this and shit and let them know.
Yeah. Do that, guys. But on that
likes.
note, are you guys live on Thursday on NFG?
No.
Nah.
We only do this one.
We do the private shit, like the paid, the NFG monthly.
We do the NFG SEO.
Once a month, though.
NFGSEO.com/7.
We don't want to push it hard. I mean, we do the NFG stuff to have fun and shit, but it's not an income source. Well, it's an income source, but not a large percentage of income source.
But
yeah, it still brings in more than I made at a day job. So I forget that. It's funny how your numbers get skewed in your head, but
dude, I don't understand. I was looking at someone's revenue the other day, like that works at a job, and I was blown away, dude. I don't get it.
It's funny in the like in the neighborhood or like you're in town or whatever. Did you hear so and so makes this much money? You're like, oh, cool. You're like, how do they eat?
No, I don't get it, dude.
Yeah.
We've got one last question, guys.
What is a cluster?
Cluster butt. Cluster fuck.
Words grouped by page or pages.
Page or topics, right? Page or
pages.
Page or pages.
Anyway, on that note, guys, we are done for today. Back again tomorrow with Mr. Chris Palmer. But check out the guys, nfgseo.com/7.
What's Chris got going on right now? Much? He's all over. He's a hustler.
I saw someone was asking about what he talked about with Ted. So
I saw you did a thing with Ted. It's like an hour-long thing. I can't remember what it was, though.
Teddy bear.
Yeah. He's a guy you want to hug.
Yeah, you do. I love Ted.
At breakfast. Yeah.
I'm going to go eat, though. No, I can't eat for another hour.
I've been eating this shit the whole fucking time. I'm going to be checked up.
Anyway, guys,